So we read Small Change, where the author criticized small businesses and their work in countries where inequalities exist, and you said that you're providing services to these people who would otherwise not have them. What the author of Small Change would say is that businesses ignore the fact or the roots of the cause of inequality and would rather just use the inequality to their service by providing their goods and by almost creating a monopoly. Would you say that this is correct, that businesses can't affect much past providing services, that they can't create the social movement and the civil society that's needed to remove the inequality completely?
I actually think that that's a very myopic view of small businesses and their origins and how they develop. I'll give you an example. At the moment I'm working with the Gates Foundation on a medical clinic fund that they're going to invest in. I'm doing the due diligence for them. So I'm looking at, on their behalf, the viability of small businesses, small primary healthcare providers. That is the only source in almost all cases for lower income groups of any healthcare if they can afford it in the first place. So I don't get how someone can say, you know, what you've just asserted on their behalf. I mean, you know, they're not exploiting inequality. They are doing what little is being done to try to attend an enormously overlooked, unattended, discriminated, marginalised group. So I actually think statements like that are quite irresponsible. I think also you would have seen all sorts of changes and perhaps even unrest. If you think about the fact that in many of the countries that we're talking about, the SME sector, the small and medium-sized enterprise sector, accounts for sometimes up to 90% of economic output. It stands to, that makes a bit of a nonsense of
I think you are avoiding a question, right? What I hear implicit in Orit's question is accepting what you said, that you have expanded business services, even in healthcare. It could be in a system that's incredibly exploitative,
yes,
which there's massive inequality, where women are treated in a very suboptimal way. Yeah. That it's not addressing that. No. It is simply addressing, providing, and expanding necessary services, but not addressing fundamental inequalities in that particular society. Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree. I think that's a fair point. I mean, I think that one also has to be realistic about how many issues, you know, a single business can take on. You know, so for example, back to the financial services example we had before, when investing, are we going to work with that institution to look at discrimination by gender and literacy and physical? You know, there's a limit to what each institution can do, but no, I think that's a fair statement.